You know, there's nothing more student life than figuring out you can balance your filming device on your laundry rack. Yeah, it's a true testament to learning at home. So, what I've got for you for this very, very first video um, is not a lesson, I'm sorry, but I had a lot of questions from people about starting out with guitar. So I want to address that first before going into lessons. Because if you don't know this, then I'm going to be talking a lot of... So, alright, first thing, the thing I wrote for this, obviously, get hold of a guitar. Do that. But within that, you can get hold of one of two types of guitars, right? And what I have right here, my guitar, my beautiful boy, he is a classical guitar. Now, classical guitars have nylon strings, which are kind of, to the touch, they kind of feel like plastic, but like, don't let that kind of put you off. They're a joy to play. They sound great. Like if you listen to that, the sound is really quite warm. But there's another type you can get, which is just an acoustic, and the acoustic uses steel strings. Now I don't have an example right here to show you the difference, but basically, if I played that same chord on an acoustic guitar, the sound would be it would be not naturally louder, but it would also be quite bright and twangy. So I think that's more associated with the sound of a guitar when you listen to a pop song, for example. And I say go for either, especially if you're just if you're just starting out. It doesn't really matter in the end which you use. I find that for me, this is great because steel strings tend to be kind of abrasive on the fingers. But I also account that a little bit to the fact that I've been playing nylon strings for 8 years now, so I haven't, developed a toughness that I would have developed had I played on an acoustic guitar. So really that just highlights, get either one, whichever one is at your disposal. Whichever one's at your disposal, go and get it. Okay, number 2, we're going to look at a few accessories. And this first one I also don't have an example of, but I will link, I'll put a link below where you can buy it. It's called a tuner. And this is particularly important, seeing as though you don't want your guitar to sound like, I really don't know how to describe an out-of-tune guitar other than something that displeases me greatly. So get yourself a tuner. The one I put in the link works like this. You attach it to the head with its clamps, and then on the screen it will show you the note of the strings, or the string that you're going to tune. So you play your string, like for example this one, the E, and it will show up as whatever note it is on the screen, and then it will tell you if you need to tighten or loosen your strings according to what note you need. So that is a definite for beginners. Go and get yourself a tuner, because learning to tune by ear when you start out is really difficult, and that's kind of something that develops with time. And the second thing you can get, though this is not necessarily for my lessons, oh man, you guys, organization. Where is it? I don't know. Do you know? When did this become Blue's Clues? Seriously? I can't find the capo. I can't find the capo. I found it. Anyway, this elusive being is a capo. Look, I'll do a YouTuber thing. Wow. And basically what a capo does is you attach it to the neck of the guitar, like so. I'll put it on the first fret. And what this does is it shifts the key of a song that you're playing. It shifts it, well, however many steps up you place the capo. So if I was playing something in C, and I put it half a step up, so I put my capo on first, that means you can already hear it's slightly higher. So that just changes the pitch, and I find that that's really good if you have a song that you're trying to sing and it's not quite working with your voice because it's too high or too low. You can kind of mess around with that and figure out what sounds nice. But again, for these lessons, not really necessary. I'll be playing everything just like this. So, okay, next part, making your guitar sound good. So we talked about tuning, or rather we talked about the tuner, but we didn't talk about the tuning. So when you get yourself a tuner, you're going to tune your strings as so. And we, in guitar language, we have labeled the strings from top to bottom as 6, going down to 1. So the 6th string is the E, the 5th is the A, the 4th is the D, the 3rd is the G, the 2nd is the B, and the 1st is the E. So that's what you need to tune to play any of the songs that I will teach. So right before you even click on that video, you make sure your guitar sounds good. Because if it's not in tune, you may find that actually you're playing things correctly and you're doing all the technique right, but you're still thinking, hey, what am I doing wrong? Why does this sound bad? If it's not tuned, it's gonna sound bad. So tune up before you tune in. Oh, damn. That was really good. Next part. So in this part, I'm just going to quickly take you through what is the guitar? What features of the guitar are there? And then I'm just going to do some basics of holding and strumming. And so let's start here. This section here is called the head. And on the head, you'll find these pegs. And these pegs are called the tuning pegs. So you will either tighten or loosen these pegs depending on what sound you need your string to produce. Right, so then we come down to the neck. And on the neck, you'll see on my guitar, these are highlighted by these golden slits, kind of. Well, they're not really slits, they're more physical dividers, basically. And these basically divide the neck up into small sections, and wherever you place your finger will denote whatever note it is. For example, if I went to the 1st string and I put my my finger on the 1st fret, so this fret on the high E string or the 1st string, I played that, that's an F. But if I put my finger on the 3rd fret of the E, that's a G. So basically, when I do my lessons, I'm going to be talking a lot about which finger, which fret, and which string. And through that, you'll figure out how to actually play the chord. Right, next part, or final part, is the actual body. So you have the lovely, delightful curve of the guitar. And then you have the sound hole, where, surprise, surprise, all the sound comes from. And then you have the bridge, which is what your strings are connected to. I need to trim my strings down. My apologies, I changed my strings today, just for this actually. As for strumming, strumming. You can use a pick, or you can just use your fingers. I tend to just use my fingers, and what I'll do is I'll use this finger, my pointing finger, and I'll kind of go like I'm holding a pick, but I'll kind of just go like that. And then I'll use the back of my nail to just strum against them. Some people use a pick. Again, don't have an example for you because I do a lot of fingerstyle guitar. But basically, if you have a pick, you just hold it between your thumb and then you balance it on the middle segment of your pointer finger. You hold it so that the pointy end is sticking out a bit, and then you'll play. And the difference here is the sound will be a lot clearer. And again, it's whatever you're comfortable with. I personally have just always tended to play with my fingers. And also, if you're just starting out with your fingers, you can also just use your thumb. That also really works. So yeah, at this point in your guitar journey, it's really whatever is most comfortable to you. Do it. Right, so I'm in my family bathroom with my sister. Say hi, Maya.
Hi.
We are here to tell you that these videos are for you, ITEP students who want to learn to bring the magic of music into the classroom. And what I'm going to be doing is not only teaching you the songs, but I'm also going to try and give you some pedagogical input. So basically, what kind of lessons you want to do these songs for, what they're good at developing. And yeah, furthermore, I'll see you next time. Get everything I told you to get, and stay groovy or whatever, I don't know. Bye!